Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Jack stops Valentine from leaving Port Charles. It's the end of the line for Valentine as Jack corners him before he can leave Port Charles today on General Hospital. Nina makes headway separating Willow and Drew. Tracy threatens Drew and Willow, and Cody steps up to help Molly. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain audible data for accounting purposes. At the hospital, Willow leaves a message for Drew saying she's leaving work and heading over. Nina appears and says she hates to ambush her, but she wants Willow to reconsider moving in with Drew. She feels if she moves in with Drew this quickly, she isn't giving Michael a reason to compromise on custody. Willow admits she's been thinking the same thing earlier, but then Carly was brought into the ER. Nina is stunned to learn about Carly, but says this is another reason to postpone the move. The kids could have lost their grandmother, and it would look bad for her to move herself and the kids in with Drew so quickly after what happened. Willow says she can't live with her forever, so Nina offers to buy her a home. Nina knows Willow values her independence, but she could use her own place. Willow worries Drew will be disappointed. Nina says he'll understand, and by establishing a permanent home of her own, it will benefit her when it comes to custody. Willow says she needs to think about this, and it's been a long day. Nina is happy she's even considering it. In her room, Carly wakes up and asks Jack what happened. Isaiah enters, and Jack tells Carly he has to leave. He's going to make sure this never happens again, and he'll be back soon. Isaiah asks Carly what the last thing she remembers is. She recalls drinking champagne with Jack and feeling terrible. That's it. In the hall, Jack sees a missed call and message from Sunny. He talks to Anna and says Carly is awake and she will be fine. Jack assumes Anna called Sunny about his ex, but Anna didn't. Jack wonders why Sunny is calling him. Tracy shows up at Drew's house to inform him that his attorney, Martin Gray, is on his way to California with a federal marshal. Drew asks what she did, and Tracy says Martin did it himself by breaking some pesky little laws. She says that given his circumstances have changed, maybe he'll consider rethinking his plans for her family's crypt. Drew says there are more lawyers out there, ones that would love to tear her apart. Tracy says he could get a new lawyer, but he's not the brightest bulb in the shed. If he tries to match wits with her, she'll win every time. If he persists in moving her family's crypt, then she'll take away everything he has. Drew tells Tracy that the law is on his side, and those bodies in the crypt won't care if they are moved. Just then, Willow walks in the door. Drew tells Willow that Tracy is just leaving. Before she goes, Tracy asks Willow if the kids miss their home and family. Willow says they miss the gatehouse and the horses. Tracy asks why she is going to move them in with this horrible man who wants to dig up their great-grandparents. Willow reminds Tracy she knows her history and that her family has turned their backs on her at times. Willow says Tracy is so blinded by her anger and hatred that she can't see how great Drew is. Willow tells Tracy if she had welcomed Drew into the family, he would have been the most loyal Quartermain of all. She has nobody to blame but herself. Tracy warns Willow to remember those words, as she'll be saying them to herself in a mirror soon enough. At the Port Charles Grill, Ava's accountant tells her despite Nina's loan, she's still broke. He says she's barely paid the mortgage on her 2 galleries, and she owes a lot in taxes. He advises her to tighten her purse strings, stock up on raiment, and no more. He demands she hand her credit cards over, which she reluctantly does, and tells her that she needs to stick to a budget, and is close to maxing out her cards. She says she needs to pay for the martini she ordered, and has to meet someone for dinner. So can she at least keep 1 card? He lets her have 1 card with a bit of wiggle room, but says she needs to know her limit and stay under it. The accountant leaves, and rather than order a second martini, Ava asks her waiter what he has on tap. Nina calls, hoping to have a drink. Ava explains she was waiting for Rick, but he didn't show up, so she was going to head home. Nina tells her to stay put, and she'll be right there. Nina arrives, sees the beer, and thinks Rick must have shown up. Ava says he hasn't, and she was trying something new. Nina sniffs the drink and gasps, "Domestic?" She tells Nina they aren't doing this and orders French wine. Nina then fills Ava in on the progress she's made with Willow. Alexis arrives at the station as Cody called her. He explains he was told to reach out to her by Tracy if he ever got into trouble with the law. She asks what kind of trouble is he in. Molly appears and says he's been arrested for grand theft auto. Cody insists that's not what happened, but Molly says to save it as she's prosecuting his case. Alexis says she's defending Cody, so Molly needs to recuse herself. Molly can't, as there is no one to reassign his case to, so he'll have to spend 2 days in jail. Cody says he's not doing that. Just then, Rick appears and suggests Alexis recuse herself. Rick explains he just happened to be here, saw Alexis badgering Molly, and decided to offer his help. Alexis and Rick go at one another, not giving Cody a chance to chime in. Molly tells them enough, and that Cody has been trying to say something. Cody says he was arrested for stealing his own car, which is all paid up, and this is a huge mistake. Molly checks Cody's claims and finds out the officer who pulled Cody over for failing to use his turn signal mixed up his license plate. Cody says great, and he's happy to pay the ticket and go. Alexis says they could fight the ticket, and Rick jumps in to offer his services. Cody tells Rick they should take a walk and talk, while Molly pulls her mom into the interrogation room. Cody warns Rick to think about his endless fighting with his ex and what it's doing to Molly. Rick asks why this is his business. Cody explains he likes Molly, and she can use a break right now after all she's been through. He says Molly shouldn't have to play referee between her parents, so at least try to be civil with Alexis. Meanwhile, Molly tells her mother she needs to stop letting her dad get to her. Alexis says she's right, and she'll try. Dant drops by Sonny's place to talk. He tells his dad that Lulu wants Rocco to live with her, but he isn't sure it's a good idea right now. Sonny says he and Lulu need to figure out a way to compromise, as court battles over custody can get nasty. Danta hopes she'll meet him halfway. Sonny gets a call from Brennan, so he excuses himself to take it. Sonny warns him that Valentin is in Port Charles, and if he gets to the pier, he may beat him to the boat arriving to pick him up. Brennan says he owes him, and his ex-wife is a patient at GA. Laura catches Valentin trying to break into her place, and she refuses to let him take Charlotte. He only wants to see her, but Laura tells Valentin that he needs to leave Charlotte alone and let her move on. Laura also suggests he turn himself in so that the little girl won't always wonder if he's still alive. They head into her place, and Valentin says if he turns himself in, he won't be alive long. Laura promises she will use all her resources to help him. She's lived life on the run for years with Luke and Lucky, and it's no way to live. Valentin can't stay because if he does, he'll only hurt Charlotte more than he already has. Laura reveals Charlotte isn't here, and she's with Rocco. She again offers to protect him. He says she'll need to know who and what she's up against. Suddenly, Lulu appears and is stunned to see Valentin. Lulu won't let Valentin take Charlotte, but he says that's not why he's here. Laura gives them a moment alone, and Valentin says her mother thinks he should turn himself in, but his only choice is to run. But before he does, she thanks him for sending Charlotte home. Valentin asks her to tell Charlotte that he will always love her, and he will always be with her. He then takes off. Jason arrives at the hospital and learns what happened to Carly from Anna. He then heads in to see Carly, and Isaiah explains she was poisoned with polonium. Jason asks why someone would want to kill Carly. Anna walks in and reveals Brennan was the target. Anna asks Carly what happened. Carly details the events of what happened with the champagne, and that the drink hit her, she felt terrible, and happened so fast. Then she woke up here. Anna thanks her and heads out. Carly knows the look on his face, and tells Jason that she doesn't want to fight with him about Jack. Jason doesn't want to fight either, and is just glad she's alive. Sonny and Dant arrive, and Anna tells Sonny that Carly is okay. Anna informs them that Brennan was the target. Jack ordered champagne, which was poisoned, and she suspects Valentin is responsible. Dante says if Valentin is back, he needs to make sure Rocco and Charlotte are safe, and the detective takes off. Sonny tells Anna not to worry about Valentin, as he met the new owner of his old place tonight, and is on his way out of town. However, he doubts he'll get far. Anna realizes Sonny ticked Brennan off, who will likely kill Valentine. She can't believe what Sonny's done and she rushes off. Sonny heads in to see Carly and is glad she's okay, but he needs to talk to Jason. They step out, and Sonny tells Jason that Valentine poisoned Carly, and Jack is on his way to intercept Valentine. Anna is also headed to save Valentine, and he wants Jason to make sure Brennan finishes the job. Sonny gets back to Carly, who jokes with her ex that he won't get rid of her this easily. At the station, Dant puts an APB out on Valentine. He gets a call from Lulu, who tells him that Valentine was just at her mother's, and she thinks he's in trouble. Dant says he knows, and they are handling it. Alexis and Molly hear Dant say Valentine's name. Alexis questions him, and Dante tells her what he knows. Back at Laura's, she isn't shocked Valentine left, but she wishes he had stayed for Charlotte's sake. Lulu says Valentine wanted her to thank her for the advice, but after all he's done, he may have been right to run. Laura says she will mourn the man Valentine could have been, and Lulu agrees. In her car, Anna calls Jack, leaves a message and tells him not to go after Valentine. On the pier, Valentine waits for a boat. Jack appears behind him, aims a gun at his back, and says, "It's the end of the line, old friend." On the next General Hospital, Jason prevents Anna from reaching Valentine. While on the pier, Jack cocks his gun and says to Valentine, "Goodbye, old friend."